Hey everyone, so I'm gonna make a Christmas tree angel. So I've got a bottle for 1035 of white, and I'm not sure what this. I'm gonna have a taste test in between. So, and what I did was I basically found a whole bunch of little crap and fabric. I have petal, and I have some sparkling, and I tried a whole bunch of flour. So I'm gonna use it to make a fairy. Okay. So this is a wine for $10, and usually we kind of look down on anything around $10–12, but I find that taste is relevant, and so this is a good way just to taste the wine and just tell you what it is. And it could probably just taste like crap, or it could pretty good, but I think after half a bottle I don't think I'm gonna know the difference. So this is not so dry. Oh, it's actually not bad. It have a little tingling in your mouth. It's light, so I guess it would be a good before dinner. And I think this would also mix good with some of the mixed drink that I can do. I'm gonna put this aside for now. So this is what I found at the dollar store, and I thought it would be interesting. This thing cost me $1.25 each. And we're gonna make it into the little snow angel that you see. It kind of look kind of creepy. Alright, and this is the bigger size, and it's also $1. So this one I found it at the dollar store, and it's $1.25, and it's missing a pair of boots, but I guess we don't really need it. So I'm not sure if would this be a good one, or I'm gonna make this one into the fairy. So I'm gonna put this aside for now, and they both $1.25 each. So this whole project probably gonna cost you, if you have stuff around the house, pretty much under $10 if you want, and it's gonna be something cute. And you probably see the picture I posted up earlier, what it looked like. And there are a little game we can do. So every time I take a sip, you take a sip, and by the end of it, we probably both drunk, and I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. Second thing is, so I have to actually pre-design a little bit. So I have a guide on how to go about doing the dresses. So if you look at here, so we're probably gonna do something big around, and I'm thinking of doing a lot of little petal coming down, and do a little bead on the top, and then maybe I make a tiara with wing, with feather wing on this, so it might look like a good, really cute little fairy. Oh, she actually have heel. It's pretty good for $1.25. Okay, so let's do a little sketch, and I'm gonna do a side sketch because it's much easier. So when we usually do fashion sketching, the first and most important thing is the eye and the face. So because once that's done, it's kind of hard to, it's easier to do the rest, because you can't really fix the eye and the face. So I'm thinking, if it's a fairy, we can do her little wing, and the dress gonna have an opening in the back. I kind of have a little, and I'm gonna do a little strapless on the front, because that's the easiest to produce. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do layer. So what I'm thinking is a little petal. Cheer, open the bottle, join me. So if you want, you can actually look at this video later. I'm gonna post it on my YouTube channel. And so something like this. And then here we're gonna do a little wing. And then have feather coming out of the bust. And then we're gonna do something into the wing side. Then I'm thinking of doing the tiara, so have her hair coming down and part on both sides here. And a little something. Okay, so this is what we're gonna attempt to make. So let this constructed dough, I'm gonna use the bigger one. Oh, one more thing. This is a toilet paper roll that we're gonna put in the dough, because this is going on top of Christmas tree, so it's easier to rest underneath. If you want to make actually a dress for the dough, I'm going to just glue right onto it, because I'm not going to do dress up with this thing. But if you like, you can get Velcro and a little snap, and then you can just do them at the opening, so it's easier to dress in and out. So what I'm gonna do is gonna tie the hair up first, out the way, with the little ribbon, so give me space to work. And you can pretty much do whatever you want. So we don't dress up. This actually, I think, would taste good with a little brie for entree. So if you serve something light, or so it would go really nicely. It's actually quite decent for a $35 Canadian. I was talking to the lady at the store, so she was saying that this, well, I actually have the cheat sheet later on, so I can just redo the instruction, but had I told you, it tastes kind of light right now, so it's actually nice. And so what I'm gonna do is, the first thing is we need to do the base dress. So these are my scrap fabric that I have, and I'm gonna start with that. So just a sheet, and what I'm using is just a simple cotton top, and we're gonna do top like so. Now, because I want the dress to be full length at the bottom, so we might want to do a little belt as well. So I think this look kind of good. So we need to cut this up. What I'm gonna do is, before I do that, oh, this is very important. Since we be drinking, and so I think it's better if we thread the needle first, because I think after class or two, I don't think I'm gonna see the little needle hole. So this is my first live feed, so I'm not quite set up or figure out how all this works. So the next feed that I'm gonna do next week is I'm gonna do Christmas bow tie or dress bow tie for dinner and New Year occasion. So when that's set up, maybe I can figure out how to use my extra laptop and answer you in the questionnaire at the same time. But today, it's not happening because the laptop I have is quite old and it doesn't really do well if it doesn't hook up properly. So we're gonna tack this up. Now, what I'm doing is I'm making it has an angle. So this way, it have more fabric in the back. So if you actually do a proper dressmaking, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold it at an angle here, fold it in, and then place it in the front, on top of the bust, and then wrap it around. I'm not gonna care how much of everything is right now, so I'm just want to tack it so it stay there for now. So what this does, it give me the base of what I want to do next. So make it nice and tight. If you want, you can use the glue gun for this, but I find is easier to use a thread, for me anyway. The glue gun for this particular task is a little messier, so it's up to you. And what you can do is, when you tag it, and you have to make sure the threads stay there, you wrap the thread on the needle, one the choice, hold it down to the bottom, and then pull the thread through. So that way, basically you tie a knot into the area and it doesn't open. And if you want to secure it one more time, it's not tight enough, so I need to tack it a little bit tighter. So the whole idea is not to show her boobie, right? So bring it up. It's actually not bad. Okay. So I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter. So nice and tight. So you have the base of a strapless top. Now, what we're gonna do is we need to cut and arrange how much stuff we want for this. So if you have ribbon, which I will use to tie down the to do the waist area. So I also have silk organza for this one, but I was thinking cotton is the best because it's sturdy and it's easier to manipulate. Cheers. So there you go. So I have a dress, and so this is the leg, and we're gonna make it a little bit longer, so you want to cut a little bit lower down. So find her leg, and then do a little bit farther, and then just drop it. Keep slipping. So what we can do later on is, oh no, get dirty. It's okay. I'm gonna cover it up with that bead. You're gonna know a lot of the stuff in art and craft because a lot of hand handling. It's hard to keep everything nice and neat. And we have a little trick for that, and sometimes we paint over them, or we put thread over them, or we put bead over them to hide all the little extra stuff. So there you go. So we have a skirt. Now, I like this little thing in the back, so I'm gonna keep them. So I'm gonna make it into the little wing. So what I'm gonna do is, you see, so all I did is just wrap the fabric around it, right? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a little bit lower, and I'm gonna move that up, and then we have a little wing. So make sure both of these are at the same level. Huck it up a little bit. So measure them, and then go down at the same level, and then we move it up. So make sure it actually makes sense, so when you go up, not too deep and not too far. So we have a little bow there, and with all the excess fabric on the side, which is okay, what I'm gonna do with that is I'm just gonna pleat it in. So I'm just gonna make it a little gather. And then we have a little dress. So I have white ribbon. I'm just gonna tie it at the waist for now. A little bit messy right now, but when we have everything, we can just adjust the thing. So make sure, you see this is actually fold outward, right? So we make sure this is folded in so it doesn't show the seam up the dress. So they lay on top of each other instead of showing on the outside. So I think that's pretty good. I'm just gonna lock it with a dead lock. Knot. Voila! So we have a simple dress. Okay. So if you want, what we can do is, what I can do is I could just make a ribbon out of this. So actually save this for later. So cut it to a proper size, and we're done with that. So I have a little wing in the back, and I have a strapless dress. So this is where we put the foundation together. And I'm looking for that little toilet paper roll to put them in, but apparently I put it somewhere and now I can't find it. Let me use that later. Here you go. So now this is a good time to actually put this in now. So you want to make sure it comes all the way to the base. And what I'm gonna do now is maybe I am gonna include it. So I'm gonna open this up and put it all the way at the end. If you want to see all this again, I'm gonna post it on my page here. It actually gets nice and a little bit sweeter. I still like the little tingling bubble that go keep off, and it actually, I find this is quite a good value for $10. So now, so I'm gonna put glue gun around the edge to hold everything in. So what this does is, if you want to put this over the Christmas tree, you can put it right at the top of the Christmas tree, right underneath. And on the top, it keeps the dress a little bit forward and give her a little cute weight. You notice I also add a little pleat on the side, so give it a nice little detail. Okay, so we have this basic dress. What we need to do now is to do the layer of all of that. So this is dry flower from my garden. So I have a whole bunch of different things here. So I have roses, I have peony, and all different types. But what I want to use is two things. I'm gonna use orchid that I tried for my flower. And then I'm gonna use these big peony, and I'm just gonna layer them. So we're gonna start from the bottom. So we always start from the front because that's gonna be the center of the attention, right? So to the tip, just a little bit. And we're gonna do that all around. So make sure you space it out, because you have to remember the flower it's not always right on top of each other, right? So when we design anything and we try to imitate nature, we have to follow the nature law. And nature law, they have the natural curve. If you look up on Google and it say, what is it called? It's the perfect circle thing. So you can see that in the little shelf. So this is look a little bit more funny, but it's okay. Ooh, hot. Burn myself. Cheers. So these are all peony flower that I made, that I tried from my garden over the summer. It actually have a beautiful smell. What I'm looking now is I'm looking for a big leaf petal, as you call them. And if I can't find them, I'm gonna make some dry. And I don't think the petal that big in this one either. So I'm just gonna continue to use these then. Other thing is about these are they are very fragile. Look, they crumble to nothing. So you have to handle them with care. And I think instead of put glue on the petal, for the alternative, I like to do thing with delicate thing. What you can do is you can just buy like fake silk flower. Do this and it's gonna make it much easier for you. I think I'd like to make things difficult, or some people call it a challenge. I'm not sure. So I have one side done, now I have to do the other side. So I'm just gonna do a little bit droplet, space it out, and then just add the tip of the petal on. So make sure you're quick and fast because the glue does get dry quickly. And what I also like is, because this is the first and at the base, you can always add more later on, so you don't have to worry about that you don't cover it up. Because there are a lot to fill. So it does. Now you notice, because this is crossover here, I'm gonna tape it so it doesn't open, and we can always add more stuff at the bottom. Because what happens is, when all this is gonna be added, this is gonna weigh down the fabric. So before we do that, I want to make sure the skirt stay full bloated out. So that means we need to add some volume at the bottom of the dress. So to add volume, we have two options. We can use tissue paper, which I will. These are just kind of like shedded paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it on the outside at the base. So to keep the skirt full. So be generous with the, and to kind of put them there. So in fashion design, if you want to make a live dress, this is what we would call a crinoline. Is what you see the skirt with a frame in the 1800s, or in the modern time to make it lighter we put new tulle. But so at least now it doesn't fall. And we're just gonna tuck all this under. I guess it should have been white, but doesn't really matter. And I'm just gonna close up the skirt. So there you go. If you want, we could put a little bit glue or a little bit piece of paper to lock everything up underneath. So what I'm gonna do is cut this into two. So you notice I have two pair of scissors. So one is for fabric and one is for paper. There you go. So this will prevent the paper from falling. Uh-oh. Some of the petal already fallen. So maybe I'm just gonna use the tri-archet because it's a little bit easier, and I think I should have enough to do the whole dress, and I can just do it in between with the peony petal. So I'm just gonna break up the archet, or actually it's okay, I'm gonna do the full thing. So to do that, what I need to do is I need to figure out where, the size of the archet. So we're gonna do the big one at the bottom and the small one on the top. So make sure you know the different sizes. And since this is a fairy, I think that would be just fine. So we start with the big one. Stem. Sure. So make sure you have enough space in between them. What you need is, because later on the upper flower we would put them in between that. So this is what it looked like. And we're just gonna add on top of all this. I like this color. It was originally red purplish, but now it's have an in-between color, which I love. So some of the trick to drink, I'm very good at drinking, but I don't really know a lot of wine, and a lot of people I know, they're quite a wine connoisseur, which I'm not. I just, if it tastes good, it tastes good. I don't really care. But the little trick is, when you drink, make sure you cover them inside your nose, so you're able to take the fragrance of the wine, and it also mixed in with the sensational taste buds, and you would enjoy the wine a little bit more. Jeez, I haven't used a lot of glue gun like this for a while. So you notice I'm working from the bottom up, not from the upper part down. And to glue the flower, the best way to see is when you lay the flower flat and you see what part of the flower touch the base, and that where you want to put the glue, so the flower would rest more naturally instead of trying to fight how the flower gonna hold. So I usually save the nice flower in the front because that's where all the tension gonna be a lot of the time. So I think it's quite coming along quite nicely. So now I have spots of area, and I also need to cut that up, and so I chose the one have a little bit of a weirder shape to add a three-dimensional thing to it. And what I'm gonna do is the upper part I'm gonna do them with the white orchid because, well, I ran out of the red one. Oh, ran out one. Refill. Sure. So remember, when you put the flower on, you have to also keep in mind how flowers naturally are in nature. They usually fall down, they don't fall up, right? So you also want to keep that in mind when you put it on dresses, is follow that way so it's more natural look. Otherwise, oh well, I think we're running out. I think that pretty much is. I used up all my orchid flower. So this one I'm gonna make into a tiara later. So we're gonna keep that aside. So I think that's pretty okay. What do you think? It's missing a little flower here, so I think I have one that I can add. Oh, How about a rose? No, I think it'll be a little bit too much. But I can definitely put the rose at the base. So I'm gonna save that for later. So I'm gonna put that at her waist. So I think that's gonna be pretty. And can I another one here? So this is a nice orchid flower. Pretty good. And what I'm gonna do is from here, let me see. I think we almost finished, to be honest. Cheer. So what I'm gonna do is, let me clean this little mess out of the way. So these are lavender from my garden as well. Okay. See? What I tell you, they just crumble. Alright. So we need a nice clean area. So I'm going to use some of the rose petal to add onto the movement. So I'm thinking, gonna do the rose petal from the top down maybe. And I think we have enough rose petal. There you go. So, same principle we were using earlier. Little tip, little tip, little tip, little tip, little tip, and put the glue. You're gonna see when all this put together. Side. This is a pen. So, do you see it? Not yet? Okay. Now we're gonna add feather and other stuff to it. But before we do that, I'm gonna do the little thing, which is quite messy. Sparkle. So the best way to handle sparkle is make sure you have a big sheet of paper. Otherwise, the sucker go everywhere. Or do it in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do sparkle on her dresses. So think of how you want the sparkle to affect. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna do a full bust, beat it. So I'm just gonna use the glue gun, put it on, and then just gonna put the sparkle on it. And I'm gonna do a dripping, follow these natural pleat. So it's gonna add a nice movement to it. So before we do that, we also need a little stick to spread out the glue. And what you need to do is you have to do a little bit fast for this one, because the glue, when you spread them out, it dries very quickly. So you see it? So make sure you have it everywhere. And what you're gonna do all along the top area. And the thing about this is you don't have to actually put them completely covered, because it actually looks nicer if you see the little spot of white underneath. And it's on me. The last little stick. So, should we put it anywhere else? We did pretty good for now, I think. I think it's pretty good for now. So, I'm gonna add, if I, did I crush the rose? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna put the rose in the back now. So it's a little huge, so I'm gonna make it smaller. Alright, it's halfway there, so we got the base. So now you make sure you want to make sure that make the dress a little bit more full and a little bit more even. So now we have to fill in all the in between. Cheer. Alright. Sparkle. The every freaking. Now we're gonna bring out the feather and more. So these basically fabric scrap that I saved. These are hand embroidered, and what I can do is maybe I add them on here, or make into a rose, and maybe not. Anyway, so I'm just gonna do feather because it's much easier. So this feather, oh my god, it's quite messy. So let me just kind of clean this up because I'll try to really mess with all. Alright, so you can get red sparkle. It's gonna be around for another 10 months. Even you vacuum everything. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add feather to the thing. But I need to figure out the same thing with the feather that is gonna go in between. So what that means is I'm gonna drink the whole bottle. Cheers. So I got these feathers. And we're just gonna start with the big one all around. So I'm just gonna put them in between so kind of fill up the space. So actually, I would actually recommend this one. It's $10, quite inexpensive, and it's actually have a nice taste to it. It's lightweight, and it probably go good with at party, before dinner. And I actually like the aftertaste of it as well. It's not overpowering. So I have the sheet that the LCBO lady printed out for me, so I'm gonna read them for you later as soon as I finish with these. So you see it taking shape. You see it add another dimension right away to the bodies. So the feather, you can pretty much get them anywhere. Again, you can get them at the dollar store, or if you have old pillow, your down pillow, and you want to throw it out, open them and use them as scrap. So you just pretty much put it indiscriminately everywhere. And the glue gun, honestly, they suck at it everywhere. It's kind of like a web. After a while, it just cover your entire body. So because I'm on a time constraint and live feed with you guys, usually I would plan this out a little bit more. I would sit and divide all the feather up into different sizes and then go from the bottom up. So the dress that you see that I posted with the picture, I actually did that. So it's more meticulous. But we don't want to know where that come from. Cheers. So hope you have a good night and enjoying a wonderful time with your family as you're watching me doing my crazy shit. I think the alcohol start kicking in because I'm beginning to use I forget what the other one I put. Oh well, whatever. So the fairy should have a rustic, earthy look to it, and it doesn't really have everything always defined because you have to remember they're coming from the forest, and whatever they find in the forest, they contribute to their look. So when you're making thing for the fairy, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, as long as have the same team and family. So that contribute to the charm of this natural look. Does that make sense? So what I'm doing exactly is you're gonna fill in all the space that I have open and then just add. Alright, I think it's coming along quite pretty. And the peony, it doesn't really look really well. So what I'm thinking is I have 2 gold orchid. I think I'm gonna use to add on to this. Now, where else should I put it? What do you think? So, you need some more feather. So everything I use, you can pretty much find it around your house or in a craft store or in your garden. So I want to make sure all that little white space in between is covered by feather, because that's gonna make the dress look a little bit more fuller. And when the flower fall down or disintegrated, it still look fine. So a good design, you always want to make sure even the dress is distressed, it still have a distinct look to it. Because it's easier to make things look pretty, but it's harder to keep it grace as the wearer add to them. And I guess that could be say about people as well. So what do you think? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add feather in between all the sparkle as well. Sure. So make sure you follow the natural fall of the pleat on their dresses. It doesn't matter if you cover some of the sparkle or because it's gonna show up anyhow. So these are, I would call the medium feather size. They're not the big one, and they're perfect for this area. So it looked like the swan. So when I actually do a couture dress, we don't really glue anything. We kind of sew this one by one. And it's the same principle, you just sew the tip of it, of each feather. So what do you think? Send me some note on the comment, and I'm gonna have a look in a few seconds. Well, I'm taking a break, having a little wine, and gonna tell you what the wine is. You see what I say about the glue gun? It freaking stuck everywhere. So what do you think? Cinderella dresses? The wine is... So after this, I'm gonna do the wing and the... So it called number 9 VQA Ontario. So the taste for this is tasting no, pale lemon color. Yep, that's correct. Aromas with a fresh citrus, golden apple, white peach. Golden apple, white peach. It kind of oxymoron, I think, that shit. Anyway, on the palate of the pleasantly sprizzy, light body, up dry with bright acidity. What the heck does it mean, bright acidity? It like, it burn you and then it give you a flash. Flavor of lemon, lime, and sweet apple. I think that's pretty sum up it. So, lemon, lime, and sweet apple, and a little bit zing to it. And it suggests for serving with fruit salad, strawberry tart, and calamari. I think calamari is a little bit too heavy for this, but I would do like a grilled calamari instead of the fried one. And is Ontario white wine, and is have a sugar content of 22 grams, and the price is $10.35. There you go. Now, so we're gonna do the wing for this. So the wing, we need big feather. So these are huge. And then I can just add them to the little wing on the dress already. Right? And what we're gonna do before we do that is make sure the shoe wing are match, or at least come close as possible. So I have these two here, one taller than the other, and well, drop it. And I would do, so the natural wing have a natural arch to it, so we're gonna do that. And since we're gonna glue them, so we're gonna add a little base feather to it. So something like this. So you add this on top of this, and then a few more small ones, and it looked like a nice wing. So we're gonna do this one first. So I'm gonna add more glue to the glue gun. And make sure you get the base. I'm not really sold on this rose here, so take it up. And yeah, that actually looked a little bit better. So I'm gonna glue two big feather onto it. So you got the little wing. And to make it a little bit more realistic, we add a little one as well. What do you think? Ta-da! And collect some of their sparkle, and we're gonna put inside the rose. We're gonna seal it up. So this gives a three-dimensional to the rose. There you go. So now I'm gonna make her a little tiara. I'm gonna undo her hair. Untie it. Cause fairy, they don't really do a do, right? They just kinda let it fall. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna we kind of need a little, I'm not sure what happened here. So let's add a little bit water. I think it's okay here. First of all, be careful with the needle. You don't want to sit on it. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just gonna wet it a little bit and then kind of work it. So now what I'm gonna do is don't forget her high heel. She have two of them. Alright, come back table. Now, so since this is a really inexpensive dough, we do with what we. So you can either, oh my god. I think we're gonna keep the hair together. And to do, we can't do anything elaborate because it's supposed to be, oh well, that hair. Earthy and nature. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do that. So comb it all back, and then I'm just gonna twist the hair like so. And then we're gonna add a little tiara on after. So when we do that, I have some ribbon here. Tie it. Actually, I'm gonna do this. No, something like that. So anyway, I need to tie the hair. So just gonna tie it in a knot, like so. And we're just gonna braid it, I think. So you notice it's not that fragile. So we divide it into 3 parts, the hair. Can you see? 1, 2, and 3, and make sure you don't sew the scrub, and then you just braid it. And I'm gonna tie it with a white ribbon. to figure out how to keep that down. Ta-da! There you go. And I'm gonna put some lavender in her hair. It kind of falling apart. Okay. I wonder where my other one is. I'm a little bit see now because I thought I had 3. Now I seem to also have 1. Cheer. Anyway, not to worry. I know I was imagining, so we're gonna add a little bit on the outside there. So this. So we like that, right? So since this is very fragile, I'm gonna, and I also want a little wing with the lavender. So I'm gonna glue the tiny, teeny little bit of feather into the headdress. And doing the same thing for the other side. So make sure